G'day guys and welcome back to another One Piece deck profile. Today we're going to be looking at one of the new starter deck leaders in Yamato. So these are the starter decks that we just got a couple of weeks ago. For those of you that may not have seen our deep dive into the decks or the budget build version of the new starter decks, go check them out on the channel. But for those of you that may have not seen Yamato before, let's take a closer look. So Yamato is a 5,000 body, 5 life standard mono yellow stuff there, and then the effect is Don times 1 on your opponent's turn. If you have 2 or less life, this card gains 1000 power. So basically we're becoming Whitebeard late game with Yamato, and there is a lot of Whitebeardness in the build with lots of 2k counters, some events, and then some bigger bodies to help us swing out. So let's have a look at what we've got. First of all, we're going to have a look at our searcher for the deck, which is Charlotte Pudding. So one cost 2000 body, 1000 counter. On play, look at the top 4, reveal a Sanji or a Big Mom type pirate card other than itself, and put the rest of the bottom deck in any order. So there are 10 cards in the deck that are not searchable by Pudding. So definitely a lot of targets right there for Pudding. A great going first turn play. Definitely want to try and see a Pudding in your opening hand, so mulligan to see that among a few other things there. To go along with the Pudding, we've got a few cards that help us with some draw power. The first is we are running 3 of Daifuku, so which is a 4 cost, 5000 body, 1000 counter. The effect is Don times 1. When attacking, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand, and then add 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. So just a roundabout way of drawing card right there with Daifuku. 5000 body is also nice to have on board there as well. Always swinging for 6 when using the effect, so it is also good into Whitebeard. The next card that helps us with some draw power is Perospero. Just running the 3 Perospero, and a lot of builds are running the 4. Basically we're running 3 just because it doesn't have the counter power, so we're trying to limit on those cards that don't have some sort of useful defensive play to us. But the Perospero is a 3 cost, 5000 body, so great to see on turn 2 if you're going first. The effect is on KO, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Big Mom Pirates type card and add it to your hand. The rest go to the bottom of your deck in any order. And there are also 10 cards you cannot get off Perospero's effect. Perospero is also a trigger. You may trash a card to play the card, so great to see triggers in life with yellow, and Perospero is a great one to have. Next, we're going to go into our 2k counters, and we have a butt ton of them. We have got Sanji first up, so a full play set. Apologies for the proxy there. My other one is being lent out right now. Yeah, so Sanji is a 2 cost, 3000 body, 2000 counter. This is probably one of the few 2k counters that you can play. It is a great sort of a draw effect similar to your Daifuku that we spoke about before. So Don times 2, when attacking, add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand, and then add 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. That roundabout way of drawing card right there. Full playset. Next up, we're also running a full playset of Struzen. Once again, apologies for the proxy that is also being lent out right now. So Struzen is a 1 cost, 1000 power body, the 2k counter. The on play, this one also occasionally does see some play. You can trash a card with trigger. We got plenty of them in the deck to KO something with a cost of 1 or less, usually only used kind of late game to get rid of a little blocker. We are also running a full play set of Pudding from the starter deck, 2 cost, 3000 body, 2000 counter. On play, probably rarely going to use this, but you can look at add up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life and then place it at the top or the bottom, but you're mainly going to use it for that 2k counter. And the last of the 2k counters, we are running 2 of the Yamato from the Yamato starter deck, which is a 3 cost, 3000 body, 2000 counter. Sometimes you want to play it out that when attacking, you can add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life. This character gains 2000 until the start of your next turn, so 5k for the remainder when you use that effect. So running 14 2k counters in the deck, a nice hefty number of them right there. Now at this point we're going to look at the events that we have available to us for counters. So we just looked at our 14 2k counters. We're also running a full playset of Aggro from the new starter deck, which is a 1 cost counter. If you have 2 or less life, give one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 3000 for the turn. So great against those decks that like to restand, like Lucci. So we're running a full play set because it's nice and cheap. One cost 3,000, basically a guard point for yellow. And we are also running 2 of the Sovereignty, which is a 2 cost 5,000 buff to something for the turn. Arrow is not searchable off any of our searches, but you have access to Daifuku and Sanji, which allows to draw, which you can find those cards a lot easier as well. And Sovereignty is searchable off both the Parasparrow and the Pudding. Next up, keeping in theme with the defensive cards that we have access to, we are running just 3 of the Brûlé, which is your 3 cost 1,000 body, 1,000 counter blocker, which is triggerable out of life. The other card that is a nice tech card that is a bit of a bomb in life is we are running 2 of the Omusubi from the new starter deck, which is a 3 cost 4,000 body, 1,000 counter. The trigger is KO one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 1 or less, and then you can add this card to your hand. So really good, pops basically all searches in the game, pops those little blockers like Chopper, but it is a bit of a tech card. You can swap this out for some more 2k counters or some more of your Sovereignties or a couple other characters which we'll talk about later on in the deck. Next up, for our aggro and also life bomb cards that we have, we are running a full play set of Cracker. Cracker is a 4 cost 5,000 body, 1,000 counter, Don times 1. If you have less life than your opponent, this gains double attack and 1,000. So swinging for 7,000 double attack with that minimum 1 Don there. The trigger is you can trash a card to play the card. The only matchup Cracker is dead in is Whitebeard, otherwise it is a fairly good card. Still running a full play set of it because it is a 1k counter in hand. Another great trigger life bomb card that we have, which helps us with our aggression. We are running a full play set of Smoothie. So 4 cost 5,000 body, 1,000 counter, just like the Cracker. The when attacking effect is you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. This character gains 2,000 power during the battle. So great way just to aggress your opponent. Also great kind of finisher as well. There's another 2k that your opponent has to think about when it comes to carrying out of attacks. The trigger, same as the Parasparrow, trash a card to play the card. So sometimes the Smoothie can also randomly turn on your Cracker as well. If you're sitting in the same life, you can trigger that effect here, then your Cracker is live for that double attack and extra 1,000 boost. Sometimes that can come up in Whitebeard games, but most of the time just using it to just be a bit of a surprise aggro for your opponent. Next up, we're going to have a look at the big bodies that we run in the deck. We are first of all just running 2 Yamatos from the starter deck. So 5 cost 7,000 body, 1,000 counter. Not searchable off anything that we have in the deck, but you can find it off those Daifukus or Sanjis with that extra draw power. This is probably another card you can swap out for that Omisubu. If you don't want to run this card, you can run an extra copy of the Yamatos. Next up, we are running 3 of the starter deck Linlin, 7 cost 8,000 body. On play, your opponent chooses one of the following. They either trash one of their own life or they give us an extra life. So this card is only horrible to play when your opponent has no life, because then they'll choose to trash their own life, which is a perfectly legal play, which means it just becomes an 8k vanilla at that point. So you definitely want to play that out while your opponent has life, and you can play multiple of them out. It's really good for you. And the last of the cards we're running in the deck, the last of our big boys, is running 2 of the Katakuri. The 8 cost 8,000 power, no counter. On play, add 1 character with a cost of 8 or less to the top or the bottom of your opponent's life face up. So there are only 8 cards in the deck that don't have some sort of counter power in your hand. We got 5 of them there. The other 3 are your Parasparrow. So always going to have some sort of defensive play in your hand. And with the Yamato going up to 6, it's quite easy to get out of a lot of swings. Generally early game with Yamato, you're happy to take those swings. You want to see some triggers. You want to see some good cards that will help you later on down the track. Alright, there's the deck in all of its glory. Once again, let us know what you think of this build here in the comment section down below. We've been having a lot of fun with it. Get some cool defensive things going on, some cool aggression. And then there's been some variants kind of similar to this that have been topping some events around the place, which is great to see. But once again, thank you for checking out the video. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you all in the next one.